Amazon's Wheel of Time Season 1 brought us some of the greatest cold openers that I've ever seen on television. I am hoping that this continues in Season 2 as it is fast approaching. We took the opportunity to get together on Sunday's Tavern Talk and talk about what we hope to see in Season 2's cold openers. This was a fun discussion and we've got some great points from Jansen, Tom, and Beth, and Brother Dan. Do try to catch us live on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern for our spoiler-filled show called Tavern Talk. Please hit the like and subscribe button and sleep well and wait.
We're hoping that there's going to be origins for each episode, and we're hoping there's a cold open as well. And so that's what we're doing. We're putting our prediction, Nostradamus hats on, and seeing what we can come up with.
Jansen, when did cold opens become a thing?
Cold opens actually have always been a thing. In fact, I actually think, devices, you could say that Charlie Chaplin started them because they didn't even really have, credits per se back when he was the original master. But what I do love about what we're talking about today, it is, cold opens and these origin stories are some of the best storytelling you can do to help drive along, a show that has so much content like The Wheel of Time. And they're going to be able to do a lot with those, especially Season 2, which segues me into some of mine. Well, I really hope that they do a lot with the Shadow as far as cold opens this year or this season.
Specifically, the one that I've been wishing for since before episode 8 came out has to do with the Shadow.
He needs a cold open of Matt being healed and yelling in the old time.
So is that even going to happen since he lost the dagger? It's not around him in proximity.
Well, maybe not in this season.
No, I think it will happen because I think they're going to use. Remember how Moraine told the Lady Amelisa to contact the tower about Matrim Cawthon? I think that this is where they're going to catch up with him in the tower, them doing things, because I think they're gonna think something like he is able to channel, so they're going to he's going to go through like the gentling ritual or something's going to happen, and he's going to think that that's the reason why he has so much luck. But they're going to do that. That's how they're going to catch up, I believe.
Well, yeah, they're definitely going to be in the tower, but are they going to can they do the healing without the dagger?
I don't know. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Well, all reserves suggest that that might be a cold open. Is Matt actually being captured by the Red Eye?
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to happen.
Pat and Fane, the scene with Pat and Fane sitting around the campfire with the Dark Friends and the Trolloc and the Myrddraal, where he's like talking to himself, kinda, and also talking to the dagger. Specifically, that's from the books. But in the show, what I hope they do is kind of have him sitting there talking to himself, and as he's talking to himself, they interpose scenes of him talking with flashbacks from what he was doing in Season 1. Because we know he was kind of like lurking in the background in a lot in Season 1. So like I'd really like to see him like scenes from his perspective when he was watching it.
Right.
And then it ends the climax of the cold open ends with like the Myrddraal doing something to piss him off, so that he then like violently reacts to the Myrddraal. And then at some point in the season, we get a flashback to that violent reaction, and then we get to see this. The Myrddraal nailed to the door. So like maybe the actual...
Oh, yes. Okay, so I forgot about this. Okay, that's Perrin, obviously, now. Now we know that Perrin got skinny.
With Elias.
So I have it on my list as well, saying Fane and the dagger and maybe a pet Myrddraal.
Yeah, man, God. To see him actually do that on camera with the way, especially with the way they made the Myrddraals look so non-human, like horror movie monster-esque. Oh, that would be...
Right.
Well, see, I think you're right. So cool. I also think Fane already has the power to take out them. I think he's never going to be the Fane that he was in the books, where he was scrambling around for...
Gone is that amazing scene of him like a homeless person crawling up the side of the wall, like some sort of like lizard person. I was going to ask everyone, what do you think about this? He's now kind of like leveled up so fast, and it seems like it's clear that he's powerful.
Yeah, the Myrddraal are going to do what he wants to do right now. He was in charge.
And then at the end of episode 7, he he basically lets Perrin live, walks away with the dagger, and it's like the gig is up. There's no more peddler. There's no more Pattern Fane in disguise tricking anybody. It's like he announced himself there, which is another kind of big change. What do you guys think of that?
I think it's a big change, but I also think they did some things in there to catch up with the books. Like everyone knew in the books that Pattern Fane was a Dark Friend by the end of book 2. You know, so they're going to know that everyone knows now. Perrin knows out of his own mouth. He's admitted that he's a dark. So that's something that was, that does parallel.
Would it be cool to get like a cold open of him in the ways, like dealing with Machin Shin? Like, what was that encounter like for him? I think that'd be really awesome.
That's what I'm hoping for. Is just like him in the Two Rivers killing those sheep and getting the Trollocs, and then him in Tarvalon or traveling in between, and then him in the Borderlands, him maybe in the Blight, him taking the dagger, and then we get him in the ways on the way to the Shinar. Oh, that would be.
Do you think he killed the sheep?
Yeah, that's what that was supposed to be. Him. I always it was laid out in a pattern like a dagger. I mean,
the dragon fang.
A dragon fang. Always just suppose that was him kind of marking the Two Rivers for the Trollocs in the river.
Oh, like a beacon somehow.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Oh, fascinating.
I never even thought about that. That's actually.
Neither did I.
That's a good. Yeah, I like that. I mean,
who else would have did it?
Well, I thought he did it with the Trollocs and just like decided just to leave it to scare people or something.
He's a Banksy. He's like the Two Rivers Banksy, Ryan. Beth, do you think that Fane will be a cold open?
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't.
I kind of hope that.
So
there's something else that they did in a lot of the cold opens. They put them in places and they showed scenes that weren't in the book. That's why, and I think that they do that because it like I said, it helps a lot with the storytelling, so you get some background. That's why I believe my number one cold open that I think they're going to have is going to start in Cold Rock's home. And I think that we're going to get a really awesome 30 seconds of the Eel culture. Guys shine, like the wise ones, even like Clan Chief. And I think we're going to get Avienda, Amos, and I think we're going to hear this is going to be right before everyone is starting to make the journey to Shandar outside of Roydion, and they're going to say something to each other like the Shido are on their way too. Something like that. But it's going to be, I think they're going to do that with the Aiel. I honestly believe that the Aiel are definitely going to be a cold open.
I have it in my notes here, an Aiel cold open, but mine involves either a wise one or a clan chief returning from Meridian. I'm thinking the clan chief will see the dragon, we'll see whatever, and him becoming a clan chief is what I was thinking. Aiel-wise, that would introduce Meridian, that would introduce the dragon on the arm.
I'm trying to go along with the timeline though, and I think at this point in the books, some people have already left the Threefold Land to find He Who Comes with the Dawn, right?
They need to at least explain who the Aiel are and why they're there a little bit.
Yeah, because what was his name, Uriel, that they met on this journey that they were making for the hunt with Ingtar, and I believe his name was Uriel, who came out, and so there's already Aiel, and of course they already found the one in the cage with Matt, actually, so we know they're already on this side of the dragon.
I'm sure we'll have Meridian. That I think is pretty clear cut, where there's like this, forbidden city that you go into.
Speaking of places that they're going to be in this, one of the places that they had in the books a lot was the Stone of Tyr. The columns in the Stone of Tyr. A lot happened in Roydion. That was a meeting place. That was a place of a lot of things. So that could also be a cold open as well, with Bilal and the stone looking at that.
I honestly think they're going to delay Stone of Tyr until after he comes back from the Aiel Waste.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That would make sense.
I think they're going to. I think they might move the scenes from Kyrian and Couladin and Kyrian and stuff like that when they come back out of the Aiel Waste. I think they might move that to Tyr and have him come out of the Aiel Waste into Tyr and get Kalandor.
Do you think that a cold open could introduce us to Kalandor and the stone?
Absolutely. That's exactly.
I think that's what Jansen's saying. What do you, Tom and Beth think?
No, I think Tyr's too soon. Anything that has to do with Tyr. And even, I think we're going to get I think the episode we get introduced to Avienda, we will get something of the Aiel in a cold open, because they're going to have to explain who she is, right? Whether or not we already have met Aiel before Perrin comes across her, because they're all split up. They're all in different places now. So we might have a group come across the Aiel in one place, and then Perrin has his own encounter. So it might not even be all inclusive in one solid single episode. But I'm in the camp that we're not going to see Tyr in season 2. Hard to believe in that.
Yeah.
Although we saw it in the cold open with Swan as a little wee chap.
Yeah.
We saw it in the background.
But
In the background.
Yeah.
In the background.
Yeah, not as a story piece.
I'm gonna give my my most hopeful one is we're getting a cold open of Tam Althor deciding to go get the Two Rivers folk. I think that's going to be a thing where he's just maybe Abel. I don't know. Abel's kind of a dirtbag.
It could be a nice little redemption for him to leave the Two Rivers, get sober, try to go help his son.
Oh, I'll guarantee you that Abel does have redemption. The actor that plays him, he's basically typecasted as an actor who gets redemption in every single one of his.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my God! Guaranteed.
That's funny. Good. Oh, I'm sorry. Over's ear is asking: is the Hunt for the Horn ceremony Fael gonna happen?
I said Hunters of the Horn. I was just about to say Hunters of the Horn and / maybe Fael.
Probably,
I think so.
But the thing that makes me sad about that is no Tom to interact with it.
Depressing reminder that Tom is not in season 2.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think Tom may be right about Tyr, because I think Tom's essential for. So.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But do you guys think we could see a cold open of the first Myrdrill being born?
The first?
Yeah, with like Agenor and everybody saying, "What the hell is this?" Like the army's starting,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
The first Shadow Spawn.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Very.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they're going to be combining Forsaken because there's not a full 13. So my hope is that they beef up Demandred essentially by combining Demandred and Agenor and Belial and making Demandred have like Agenor's backstory of being like the geneticist and stuff, so that when they show Demandred, we get to see Agenor's backstory. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Because Demandred's backstory is like weak and boring. It's just I'm jealous of Lews Therin, and that's pretty much it.
It's boring. Yeah, it's pretty boring.
I'm hoping that we get a cold opening about each Forsaken. Not necessarily all in season 2, but I hope that at some point, like, we get the making of Lanfear.
Becoming Lanfear. That's how I have it.
Yeah, becoming Lanfear. Nice.
I mean,
so if we have one from the second or the first age or whatever, or that age, do you think that'll be it? Becoming Lanfear? You think?
I really hope so.
I think that will be an entire episode.
That would make me happy.
I really hope we get to see how fucked up they are too. Like, they show us. Yeah, they show us kind of like they did with Lews Therin and Padra or Pedra or whatever her name is. Latra Pose or whatever her name is.
I rarely get the shit right, Dan.
But like an Age of Legends or War of Power or War of Shadow, whatever you want to call it, scene where we get to see how horrible the Forsaken were. So it like legitimizes why people are so afraid of them.
Yeah, the issue I have, Jansen, with you with an entire episode is that they set the precedent of using Old Tongue. So that would mean that these people would all be having to speak Old Tongue. Because that's what Lews was talking, right?
Yeah.
I think it will do that. I think that they'll jump from times to times, like for what they're doing now and what they were doing then. I think an entire episode about the Forsaken. Definitely.
The easy way to do that though is with a foreign language. Like if you start the episode in the foreign language, like in the Old Tongue, and then you like within a minute or two, you fade into English. So it's just kind of understood that everyone's speaking the Old Tongue, but instead of having to read the subtitles.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that would piss me off.
Yeah, I think it would too. I mean, Lews didn't do it
in movies and TV shows.
So here's my my ideal cold open is a flashback to a young Tuon. There's Shanshin in the palace, and the Empress, may she live forever. And we see exactly what the Damane are and Soldam, and she explains the danger of channeling.
Yeah, I think we'll get that before we get a lot of the other ones, considering what I've already seen in the previews.
I don't think we're going to see Tuon in this season either.
No, not
Too
Tuon.
early for Tuon.
Not even a baby, not even pre.
She wouldn't be relevant right now.
Yeah.
It's like Swan.
Well, you don't want to.
Swan was relevant. Swan was a major character in more than one episode.
You don't want to introduce a new character, like especially someone that's so important, and not even introduce the real version of her yet.
Yeah, they're not going
to. That's more of like a after, the episode after Tuon is introduced, or the episode that Tuon is introduced in. That would be the episode to do that cold open.
Right.
I believe we will have something about Arthur Hawkwing, Pendragon. I had put it as an origin, but do you think it could be a cold open?
Could be
origin. I think origin.
I'm more likely an origin of him, of what he did in the Westlands. Maybe besieging Tar-Valon or something, or him sending his son across the ocean, and then making the Seanchan.
Here's the one that I'm surprised none of you guys have brought up yet. That I'm pretty sure we're going to get a cold open of Elida.
Yeah, what is Elida going to be doing? I thought about Endor, but I wouldn't know unless she has a foretelling or something.
Well, we know that Elaine's going to be in the next season, so they're on their way at least to Tar-Valon to bring the daughter heir and her brother for training. And I think
I think that'll just be in the episode.
We know she's going to be there already, kind of.
Definitely, but after that, I think there'll be like a cold open of Elida thinking about Swan and Moraine back in the day. How about Loyal leaving the steading?
I would like to see a cold open in the tower, like a cold open about the tir'Angreal, the accepted tir'Angreal. Like maybe we get something of Moraine's accepted test, because that is in New Spring. Maybe something along those lines, to kind of give a little bit of background on the testing what the Aes Sedai have to go through, or what novices have to go through to become accepted.
I would like to see a cold opening that shows how Dark Friends become Dark Friends. Maybe we see Pater become a Dark Friend, or Millie Skane even gets introduced early on.
What do you guys think of the Bail Doman cold open?
You know how I feel about Bail
Doman.
Oh,
Beth lights up like
you do be loving the Bail Doman.
Yes.
I mean, don't you think you could see a cold open of him with driving just captaining the boat and just shit starting to happen with the Seanchan? I think he's a really good way to introduce an episode like this.
Do you think they'll do you think they'll have the alieners talk like that? If I do be talking like this,
do you think remember even had basic cold open in the books when he was thinking about when they were trying to get him to travel east. Remember, it was pretty much a cold open, and he thought about all the people that had tried to give him money, and instead of going east, he went west, and that's when he gained it in everything.
Will we see the Sea Folk in season 2?
I don't know if we're going to see them at all, but
I don't think we'll see them at all.
Yeah.
I think we'll see them.
The last thing I put on here is a Rand's dream, and I was thinking maybe even I win again, lose there, and I win again, lose there, and the flicker might be a dream. Because I don't think we're gonna get it in Portal Stones.
Well, he had so many dreams in the Escher world. Do you remember the MC Escher world where he was constantly going up and downstairs, and then all of a sudden he'd run into Balsamon and get his hand stuck on a thorn or something?
Yeah, they're going to be time jumping a lot. We've already heard. So I think that some of the cold opens are definitely going to be our main characters about what they've been through to get to this point. There's going to be a lot of flashbacks with Matt, especially Perrin, I think. There's going to be a lot of flashbacks getting them to where they are. Because remember, it's not going to start off with Rand just leaving the flight. They're going to have been gone. They've already have gone through. So we have to see what they're going to have already gone through.
Well, Lee Science agrees with that, Brother Dan. Flicker as a nightmare might work really well.
There were Sea Folk in episode 7.
I don't remember this.
I don't
episode 7. They were in Faldara in episode 7.
I want to see a cold open of the Blood Snow, but from Ruark's perspective. But maybe not the exact moment of Blood Snow, just the whole kind of Aiel war. And I want to see it from Ruark's perspective.
I wonder if Ruark would be
I want him to have killed Layman. Did he kill Layman?
What if we had do you remember in book 1 when Elias and Egwene and Perrin get to Rain and Isla's camp and they tell the story of the Maidens of the Spear that died, talking about the seal is breaking, like the and
when they were going out of the blight.
When they were coming out of the blight, and they actually went to the Tinkers, who they never talk to, who they never have anything to do with. And they tell them Sightblinder is awaking, and hey, Pavara, if they were to do something like that to introduce the maidens, that would be amazing. And they reincorporated the Tinkers in with season 2 somehow. That would be
that would be really cool. That would be a really cool seeing, especially like if we see it after seeing how like awesome the IL are as fighters. Like if we have an episode where like, oh my god, the IL are tearing shit up, they're so cool, they're fighting and it's amazing, and then the next episode's cold open is these IL all like dying and dead and hurt. Like, oh my, what did this?
Yeah, no doubt.